Hi everyone, it's Mike here from TwoDadsUK. Now, if you have recently been on our Instagram or on our Two Dads Facebook page, you would have seen an interview that was posted this week that has received quite a bit of attention. And when I first heard about this girl, I was really keen to have a chat with her one-on-one. Not only to tell her how amazing and courageous and brave she is, but also to talk about her particular condition and how that can help you at home watching this, or someone you might know that's watching this. You're going to meet now Kira Jones, who is super adorable, so brave, incredibly mature, and I'd like to welcome her to Two Dads Talk. How you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, firstly, you're completely taking over my page with comments and likes, and everyone's dying to see this interview. How does that feel?
It's really nice to know that people have been really supportive, even if they don't know me or my story yet, that then they are really supportive of someone who's young and who has had a bit of odd news.
Yeah. Look, I think what strikes everyone straight away is, one, how confident you just portray yourself, and just how mature you're dealing with, something that this should not be happening to you. This is just super unfair, but you're so lucky to be where we're at and what the journey you're on. So I don't want to spoil that. I want to let you tell that story. So, for the purpose of our little chat, tell everybody a bit about yourself, who you are and where you live, and just a little bit about you.
Okay, so I'm Kira, I'm 19, I'm from Hertfordshire, and I'm currently working at Johnson-Ellis Fertility Centre as a nursing assistant. I was originally working in London, selling hen do's and stag do's.
Oh, no way. Oh my gosh! So you've spoken to everyone in that case, then? Jeez, was that wild?
It was wild, and it was really, really good fun.
I can imagine that would be fun. So is it all like the booze bikes and all of that sort of stuff that people do?
Yes, definitely the booze bikes and the nights out. Yes, that's definitely what I was selling.
Amazing. Fair play to you. Okay, so you're working as a nursing assistant at Hertfordshire Fertility Centre, a clinic that Two Dads UK work with quite closely, and we partner with. Massive fans of all of the team down there. Tell us about what you do. Tell us about your role.
Okay, so my role is a nursing assistant. So I was brought in during the pandemic when it first began. So I was brought in to help with turning around on the scan list, welcoming patients at the door, making sure everything was COVID safe, and the fertility consent side of the fertility world as well. Mm-hmm. So making sure that all the consent forms are popped in place. So that's my day-to-day sort of role.
Okay, incredible. And are you enjoying it?
I am enjoying it. I really enjoy what I'm doing at the moment. Obviously, it was very different to what I was doing before. But it's nice to know that in a small little way, even if it's just a friendly face to meet somebody, that I can do a little bit to help.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for what you're doing. So you must, again, you must be proud working for such a fab clinic with a bunch of lovely individuals and people. Have you ever or always wanted to work in the fertility industry?
Well, I had an interest when I was studying my GCSEs, because I came and actually did some work experience here when I was studying my GCSEs. Yeah, so it was nice to come back and be offered this role. I had sort of looked at maybe going down this role, but I found that my best skills were in hospitality.
Okay, amazing, and an industry that's obviously been battered at the minute with COVID. So that explains your just how confident you come across. You clearly have to speak to a variety of people, so that explains your confidence. So let's talk about your journey. Okay, now For those of you that are watching, what we're about to talk about may be a trigger for some of you. We're going to be talking about fertility and infertility and egg freezing, just to give people an advanced warning. So there was a blood test that changed your life, essentially.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
So before I started my role here, I needed to have some blood tests to check my immunity against certain things, because obviously working in a medical setting, you have to have that done. And I just thought, let me pop an AMH test on the end, so an anti-Malarian hormone test, which checks your egg reserve. So I thought I'll pop that on. I'm working in the right environment for it. And I didn't expect it to come back with what it did. It came back as a very low level, especially for my age. So somebody who's going through around early menopause, late 30s, 40s, which obviously is quite shocking at 19 to be told that information.
Absolutely. How did you feel?
I did blame myself at the start, and I was thinking, what have I done wrong? Is there anything that I've done? Is it a diet thing? Is it any lifestyle changes? But I was quickly reassured it's nothing that I've done wrong. It's simply just how much of your cohort of eggs that you have that you're born with, and how quickly or not they will deplete. Okay. So it did feel a little bit isolating, knowing that my friends hadn't had this test done and didn't have anybody to go to around my age to ask for help.
And fertility issues in your family was this new information?
Yes, I mean, my family actually have more the opposite end, so polycystic.
Okay.
So the complete opposite to myself. So that obviously means that I wasn't ready for that information, knowing that they had a much higher reserve.
Yeah. Bless you. And so when you got that news, you obviously, I can understand that you would feel quite isolated, because I don't know another person at that age that's experiencing that. So what did you do to turn to support? Who did you talk to?
So my parents were really great at understanding, and I have a really good support group of friends. So I did speak to some of them and explain what had happened. But more importantly than anything, you're working every day. You work Monday to Friday, so I'm in the best place. I spoke to a lot of my colleagues, asked what is the best thing I can do, how can I go about helping myself in this situation. So I turned to quite a few people for advice.
Amazing.
I got a really good response back.
God, you're so positive, Kira. So what next then? So whereabouts are you on your treatment plan?
So at the moment, I've had one cycle of egg freezing.
Okay.
And that was in the end of October, beginning of November.
Okay.
And then I have just started thinking about having another round of egg freezing. End of Feb, beginning of March. I was hoping to do it in the new year, but what with the pandemic heightening and everything, I thought it would be best just to wait a little while longer. Yeah.
And what was it like? I've been on the other end of having a surrogate that's taking hormones and getting ready for things like an embryo transfer, and our egg donor has experienced the medication and how unpleasant it can be. What was your experience?
Well, to start off with, I'm not the best with injections as it is. I'm terrible. So the idea of having to have injections every day for 2 weeks was the most daunting part of it. And the egg collection, initially I wasn't too fussed about that, because I'd been able to read up on it, and it was something that you go through and doesn't really change for women. You have the egg collection, everybody will have one. Whereas the drugs and how you react to it and how you feel is personal. It's individual to the person.
Okay.
So I felt very sluggish. I was really tired all the time. I was moody. Everyone had to put up with me.
Oh my God, your poor parents.
Yes. But no, it was interesting to see just how much of an effect the drugs can have. and
Wow.
how full up and bloated you feel as well.
Yeah.
Even when you're not eating much, you're literally just drinking water every 5 minutes.
Wow. Wow. Okay. And in terms of, I guess, so what's next for you would be deciding whether once the current situation that we're in calms down, then potentially look again to do another collection in sort of February time.
Yes, definitely have another one, possibly a second, well, a third egg freeze as well.
Great. Okay. Amazing. And do you know what some of the statistics are around women of your age that experience signs of early menopause or have such a low AMH level? How unlucky have you been?
So I know that women in general, not necessarily my age, but women in general, it's 1 in 100 people, women that will experience early menopause. For my age, I do believe it's slightly more unlikely, but it's still a factor. I think it's definitely more to do with women not checking earlier to see if that they fit into that category.
Yeah, and that was something that I think is a really key message from this video, and I think that's probably something that this will resonate for other women potentially, because as we mentioned before we started, something that young men and women are taught, and what we're taught at school is we're always taught how not to get pregnant, and teachers tell us this is what you need to do not to get yourself pregnant, but no one tells us how to look after our reproductive system, or how we should get checked, or how important checking your fertility is. Is that an important message that you think more women should be doing?
I think it's a very important message to both women and men, because it doesn't just affect women, it does affect men too as well. And I think it's definitely something that isn't spoken about at school. There's not much awareness around it until you get older and start trying to have a family. And you are always told you don't want to get pregnant when you're younger because you don't want to do it when you're at school and things like that. So I definitely say it's an important message that even if you're not looking to start a family right now, you need to make sure that you've still got the opportunity to when you are ready.
So important, Kira. So important. Okay, we're almost coming to the end now. I told you this would fly by. Just tell me a little bit about how this recent diagnosis has impacted your family, or how many of your friends are thinking, okay, if it can happen to you, it could have happened to me. Has there been a ripple effect of your diagnosis?
I think so, because when speaking to friends, they are more now aware of the fact that it's not just going to be something that they could easily get pregnant later on down the line and everything will be fine. They are starting to realise that they do need to start at least putting in certain protocols in place. So, for instance, if they think, oh, that's not quite how it should be for that month, or I'm not too sure if that was an unusual sort of month for me, that there could be something underlying, or if it's perfectly normal, still to get it checked, because you never know.
No.
For family, I mean, I've got a little sister, so I'm hoping that when she decides to, I mean, it's a good age for her to get an AMH check, because she's seen that her big sister has to have injections that she doesn't like very much. But hopefully she'll be able to understand a bit more when she's older about the importance of it.
For sure. Kira, you're just a breath of fresh air. I'm sure everyone's going to find this really beneficial and useful. I think not only are you working at Hearts and Essex, but the work that you're doing just to promote this and to talk about this openly, hopefully more girls, more women will consider having an AMH check. So just to recap, tell us what AMH stands for again.
So AMH stands for anti-Müllerian hormone, which is to check your egg reserve that you're born with, and to see where you are now at the age that you take your blood test.
Okay, incredible. Look, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. It was a cracking interview. I will let you go to get on with your working day, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Speak soon.
Take it easy. Bye now.
Bye.